Hi everyone, nice to see you. Oh, so many friends here. Uh, the topic is exciting: blockchain and media, entertainment, content. How many of you here exactly know what is a blockchain and how blockchain work? Oh my God! I have enough offers for you to be a coders. You know exactly, but there's still at least 50% people who don't understand what is this blockchain and how it works. By the way, I will ask later. You will explain me how it works, please, because when let's say when I came to Cannes, and okay, I flew to Cannes by airplane, and I still don't understand how this fucking 100 tons of the metal, aluminium, fly. Of course, I know what is aerodynamics is, but I still do not understand it. And I guess the many of you also do not understand how it works. And I think most of you do not understand how electricity works. Because electricity is a scope of phenomena, and many of people do not understand how the electricity works. Many of sciences do not understand how the electricity works. But what is important is, for me, from the aerodynamic, that I can come to you and talk, that I can fly back to my family, to meet my friends. I know how I can use it, and I know what is the benefits is from electricity, because this microphone is working and everything. So what is more important? Don't know what is a blockchain and how it works. You are not a coders, and you will not be a coders. But what is a beneficial benefits of blockchain? So blockchain almost know for so-called cryptocurrencies and bitcoins, but it starts more from the media part. You know what was a torrents and BitTorrents and eDonkey and blah blah blah. You know it, in the early 20s. So this is a beginning of blockchain. An application which is called Bitcoin came late 2008, 2009, and then hype it start already. So Bitcoin come like a 2010, then smart contracts arise, and Bitcoin now help with IoT, Internet of Things, Industrial Internet of Things. We already start to dig energy, to make energy of things, decentralized energy, and then we will go to the economy of things to make a wise economy. I will tell you later what does it mean media. So we are now here. This is a fourth cycle. And if you can see, we have like a kind of a 20 years cycle period to move ahead. So we are already exactly on the gate to enter to the new cycle. And why? Because creators now frustrate from platforms. And these platforms like YouTube or Netflix already on the top. Why Netflix move so deeply to content producer? To content, not to deliver as a platform, but the content. It's also important because Netflix, I think, understand what is the future. Why Amazon now try to patent proof of work? Why Buffett bought a big stake of Amazon? Think about it. Because they just move, it's the same like a Google move to Alphabet for robotics and AI. So every single platform try to move from the third party, because third party will be disturbed, because will be disturbed. Like see this pictures, every single wave was disrupted, and we in the disruption period. So who will win from the, if we will disrupt this centralized platform? Wins creators, studios, influencers, consumer financiers, advertisers, and of course coders. So I saw there's many coders here. They don't understand. So blockchain and media, this is the waves, how it was before. The antique, grandma, granddads, current idols, and the morning stars. And there will be a plenty of morning stars. Please find the right one and invest, because it will be too late tomorrow. So what is blockchain? How we can just, let's say, how we can use it? Of course, metadata, everyone talk about the metadata. Smart contracts, there is many of you maybe understand what means smart contracts. So it's like the same contracts which you use to fill a lot of use these fantastic lawyers. But now smart contracts, you will not use so much lawyers anymore. So, and financial, of course, new way of funding, new way of payments, and new formats will come. All these so-called post-AR, VR things, holograms, they adaptive media, they all come with a big help of blockchain. Not help, but blockchain will be basic for them. And of course, transparency and real-time, very important, real-time feedback. Because you now live in the prehistorical era. You just want to sell it. Give me money. That's it. But you have to be smart. You will live in smart cities, use smartphones. You have to be smart. So data mining, smart data, and trading with the data. So smart contract. A simple example, simple case. For the film industry and TV media industry, you still need a lot of extra crowd scenes people. Sometimes it's thousands of the people. So now you simple with such kind of bot. It's called stuff bot. You can make, with help of blockchain, you can make, and it's work already. You can make the contract with this crowd mass actors within 2 minutes, with no lawyer. 2 minutes, and then you have a profile. They can manage, operate, so we can cost a lot of things. It is disrupt a lot of headache and very transparency, and you can manage all these thousands of people. So, okay, what is a blockchain for creators? So before, maybe just 10 years ago, this was a diagram how you split and divide your self-cost of your product. So service, you need to print DVD, you need to deliver a DVD, you need to sell DVD in the stores, or VHS, or more all films, kinotheaters. They eat so much money. But nowadays in virtual world, creators, they have a majority, and they will need to have a majority, because we need to make the consumers, spectaculars, and creators just in the front of this. But what's the problem? Creators don't know their viewers. They just don't know the viewers. Creators do not have access to the data. They don't know who is the clients. They only have numbers. Oh, I sold 100,000 millions of tickets. But that's it. So cinemas are centralized. Cinemas don't give the data to creators. Maybe cinemas don't have the data also. Doesn't share the revenue fair. Absolutely. So cinema and platforms are centralized, and they don't give a data to the creators, and they don't share revenues. And you know what? All distribution is centralized, and all films and cinemas, everything is centralized. So we have so much a third party. And the nature of blockchain is just disrupt third party, just to be like we are here. We don't need the third party. We just talk. And live streaming is growing. Live streaming is fantastic growing. So only 2 companies make data from live streaming. Nielsen, they bought 2 years a small startup, and the Plum Research, which is a fantastic young company, and their client of this fantastic company is Disney, and they start to use it, and then Sony, and Fremantle Media, and everything, just because the model now is not, QYC, know your client from financial, but now you have to have a model, not to change model, not from sell to model QIS, know your spectaculars. If you know your spectaculars, you can make a lot of things with the data, which we will talk a little bit later. So, for example, another case, blockchain media. So what is a blockchain media? Because it's stupid to say that we need make a platform for blockchain platform. Platform by nature is already a third party between you and me, platform. Oh. But first of all, you cannot put media file in blockchain using what? MP3, JPEG, using what? What kind of file do you use if you want to put your file to the blockchain? Let's say platform or does any service. You need to create a new files. Internet when was invented, then was a file, JPEG, TIFF, MP3, MPEG, and all other files was appear. So you need to have a file. This is have to be a standard. So the file now, you name called .bc. So .bc, it will be like a capsule covering with all this smart contract. What will means this for your industry? I know that you remember the time pre-digital when the term called master exists, master tape. So master tape have value, and master tape can produce some quantity, limited quantity of the copies, but copies always was copies, and you have a master. So in digital era, just disrupt and completely destroy this term master. So there was no master tape because you can make unlimited quantity of the same quality of the copy of your machine. And then you just fight with the piracy and try to find where is a piracy, who is use your master, you have no data, not master, your copy. So .bc will bring the term back. So for example, if, who is a Rocketman, now the Rocketman about Elton John will release now, this will be only one single copy of this, only one single copy covering with the smart contracts. The smart contracts will say this territory and this price and this age on this criteria and that criteria and this, you will have a payment, share delivery with this and this and this. And instead of distribution, instead of send unlimited quantity of copy to platforms, to viewers, it will simple access. So instead of distribution, that's why it will be disruption model, it will be access. So access, let's say 300 million people who want to see this Rocketman about Elton John, there will come 300 million to your capsule, and you will give them access, and they give you data. So creator will use the data. The data is the next gold. So data is important. So this is make happen not with MP3, not with WAV, not with MPEG. It will be make with a new format. So the new format is already tested. It's already this 3 years tested. It's already passed 3 copyright society, American society, collecting society, European society, so indie. It's already passed with a publisher like a Warner Chappell, and already proof and the proof from all, and already proved by Warner finally, and we're just waiting few weeks from now, proof from Universal, and then it will become a standard for the industry. So once again, you don't need to understand how blockchain works, you need to understand benefits of blockchain. So data mining. The data is growing dramatically every day. So this is our world. This is our world where we will live in this world from now till the at least next 100 years. So this is a social world where we are with our mobile phone, Siri, Alexas, and so on. And this is technical world downstairs, below. So it's smart city, smart city, smart energy, smart factory, smart transportation, drones and everything. So this is the world, smart cities and all these smart things cannot live without your data. You will give this data. You will provide this data. You will provide this data to this technical world. And between this, the brain, this is a data processing, data mining. So the data mining will be brained for the future world to interconnected world. So data just only for the autonomous cars, automotive industry, will grow in next 20 years dramatically. The data we need data. The data will come to information. Information by data processing will come to knowledge, and knowledge will come to wisdom to make wisdom decision, wisdom economy. What is a wisdom economy? Predictable. Before we're using this centralized system, we're using only analytics. But analytics don't give it you idea about the future, because tomorrow is never like yesterday. And what will be tomorrow? What is the predictable things? Especially for the car on the street or drones, you need to be predictable. And predictable decision will give to us through our social networks. And the media will come to the solar system. And everything will be by big mountains. Ronaldo have now 300 million, already more than 300 million followers. So it means 12 times more than HBO. So 300 million, can you imagine if they will say, oh, I like this film, I recommend this film. So it's only one single post, and this will be much more effective than every big screen with advertising. So the data from Ronaldo will come as a mountings from this social network, because this is a peak of the data. The data looks like this. So that's why it looks like a mounting. So mounting of data, this is our future. We need to help the industries to grow. Before, there's many banks or transnational companies, they help the culture, they help films, they help concert festivals, they support it. But now, everything changed. Not only access instead of distribution, replace the distribution, but we also don't ask any more money from this big corporation. We will be so kind to help them. So data mining will be very, very important things. So you don't need to sell content, you need to have a lot of data, because data you can monetize much more easily to this perfect world of our future. And why? Because when this technology have to control the world, and you easily can control drones or autonomous cars, but you cannot control the mass market, mass people, because people are unpredictable, especially when it's come to anomalies. So we need a predictable city, predictable future. Then data became information, information became knowledge, and knowledge became wisdom. So what is the next blockchain will bring to us? IOC. What is IOC? I think IoT. Internet of Things. So it's billions of devices will be interconnect with each other. Your hotpot will interconnect with your car, your cell phone will interconnect with your shoes, and everything to make your life easy and smarter. But then we will face into time of Internet of Content. So Internet of Content, which means, let's say the music industry, it will be a stamps or some part which you need to be edited in the future of your films. They will be interconnect with each other and allowed to make adaptive media. New ways of funding. If you collected data, and let's say new avatar, Rocketman, because I will talk about Rocketman. Rocketman will have a data for 300 million people, and then he will ask them, do you like it? Do you know the new episode? Can you give to us for 10 cents only? 300 million for 10 cents? It's $30 million. It's already funded. It's easy. 10 cents is nothing. And then you say, oh, people like it. I have already funded, and I will deliver it to them, this product. This is very, very important things. And can you imagine if Avatar, every 1 billion viewers will just give $1 only? $1 billion. You can do it. Very good job to do this. So it's of course, co-creation, in real-time co-creation. You can co-create in real time. Forget this mixing studio desk. You can co-create with real time in this adaptive media. So holograms and mixed reality, monetization of data. So blockchain will help with this data also for media entertainment from the topics of piracy, because it will be catch one copy, lack of funding, access to this long tail finance. The biggest bank in the world is we are. And micro lending and factoring, micro and nano payments, because no one payment system in the world cannot process 0.001 cent. But with a decentralized technology, you can do it. And access instead of distribution, crowdsourcing, and data. I will just tell more and more once again about data. And then we all creators can help with the smart cities, with Internet of Things, automotive and driverless car, drones, industrial Internet of Things, and energy of things finally. Because we need this energy. Why? Because energy now is big matter for this. To make all this computing power and computing process, you need a lot of energy. You heard about Ethereum, and Ethereum now, consumption of Ethereum now more than Cyprus. Consumption of Bitcoin blockchain now 3 times Argentina. And in 2022, consumption of blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain infrastructure, it's with millions computing, will be equal to European Union. So big consumption of energy, and we need effective low-cost energy. And of course we have a solution. We have a Siberia, which is very cold, and we have a zillions of computing servers here to rendering your video, to rendering your XR, VR, to rendering your animation, to hashing your data, to make you more happy. But now we just mine Bitcoin. You see, it's Bitcoin 7,000 and we mine for 3. So but we're still waiting for the mountains of data from you. You remember this is gold rush in California, and in Siberia was the same time, the gold rush. So someone make millions because they sell the tools. And someone make millions because they found some piece of gold. So, but we have tools and gold because we are the gold. We are the data, we are the gold. Thank you very much.